The judge as well in this case said it was not a case about race, but you cannot deny that just the facts of the case and what we've seen play out since then and what we're watch happening now is because the defendant is black, the victim is white, and that's the bottom line. But again, this is what I alluded to when I said this has brought out what's bubbling right beneath the surface. The judge as well in this case said it was not a case about race.
Yeah, so that's the Carmelo Anthony case has essentially reached a verdict, and we're going to be covering that. We're also going to be looking at there are riots in Ireland right now, and I just saw the gruesome video that sparked that riot. We're going to talk about it. And then if we have time, we have one more story. But I think these two stories are what we're going to be covering because the hypocrisy of leftists and the insanity that we get to watch in real time because of social media is just, it's crazy. But here's a Carmelo Anthony supporter who just called for the murder of Austin Metcalf's twin brother. It's like what happened. It's Charlie Kirk all over again. Let's watch.
And the twin brother would have been with him. Fuck you saying?
They should have both been arrested.
They both should have been dead. The both brothers. Both of them should have been dead. You ask me? Don't record me. I ain't asked you not to record me. Like I said.
Yeah, so that is the tolerant, these are the people that want us to be like, it's so unfair that a black boy is being prosecuted for stabbing. It was just a little stab. It was just a 4-inch knife, a 3-inch knife, just a itty bitty knife. It's too bad that the white boy died, but the black boy is innocent.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for it. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more.
How about don't take weapons to a track meet and don't stab people simply because you feel like it?
You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Let me ask you this right now.
Okay, now guys, I'm from Africa, and I have seen in Africa criminals being celebrated. I'll talk about that in a bit. Now, here's the verdict, okay? Breaking news. Carmelo Anthony has been found guilty of murder and will now spend his life in prison, okay? And so a lot of people are concerned that there will be race riots. I think there might be, but let's have a listen.
And I am hearing that it is a guilty verdict, guilty of murder in this case of Carmelo Anthony. Brooke is moving to the camera right now as we wait for the official word. We expect that this means that they will come out and make a statement at some point. Immediately, Jonathan, as we wait, what would be happening in this courtroom right now? The verdict has been read. I would imagine that he will be escorted to chambers and then back to jail. He has not been in jail.
All right, so he hasn't been in jail, despite the fact that he murdered someone. He's not been in jail. People are crying racism. He's not been in jail. They've given him a fair trial, okay? Now, we're going to kind of briefly talk about the reason why it was an all-white jury, or there were no blacks on the jury pool, in the jury pool. So we will talk about that briefly. Let's keep going. Major breaking news, okay? The guilty verdict was passed. Justice has been served, thank God. Carmelo Anthony's supporters are absolutely losing it in the parking lot. Pray for Texas tonight. All right, so gardening, you live in Texas. Well, Texas is a big place, but these race hustlers are going to do their very best to raise up a stink. All right, so everyone pray for Texas. Let's watch this.
When a man walked up, what did you do? You crossed your arms, but you aren't going to approach a woman like that. You're not going to approach a woman like that. Hold up! Hold up! Hold up! You only got in a woman case, but when a man walked up, what did you do?
Carmelo's important. That's the crazy part. Why did you move him from over here? He came over here.
I have a on screen, but guys, I'll just leave it to you guys to let me know your thoughts. Okay, Gardening says they are several hours away, but we do get a little around our area that kick off. Now, I think because Texas is a concealed carry, state, I don't think that there'll be much trouble because Texans own guns. Okay, Texans own guns unless this is Austin. Okay, which is essentially a blue city. Okay, but let me know your thoughts in the chat. Now, we in scenarios like this, you get to see the hypocrisy of the left on full display. One of the arguments about the reason why Carmelo Anthony should not have been approached in the first place to leave the tent was that, one, they claim that athletes do that all the time. They routinely go into the opponent's tent and share space all the time. That's what some of the people who were speaking for the defense were saying. And then another group is like, well, they shouldn't have told him to leave. They shouldn't have told him to leave because it's a tent, it's a public place. Well, the people who are siding with that argument don't seem to be so tolerant because a white guy who is essentially interviewing people and asking questions is being told, is being cursed out and assaulted and told to leave because they don't want him standing near their tent in a public space. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. I didn't switch over. There it is. All right.
Yes, we're just here with press just to record and talk to you guys or see what's going on. Okay. Okay. It's a free country. You're in public. You're in public.
Welcome to sharing a tent.
Okay, well, you're in public.
You should be able to share a tent.
Bitch, go!
Whoa, that is so loving.
It's free speech. It's free speech. Why are you throwing stuff?
Guys, this is why I left Africa. Now, not every African is this way, okay? We don't routinely have this kind of thing happening, all right? In fact, in Africa, anyway, I'm not going to say that. YouTube won't like it.
Yeah, why are you throwing stuff at us? What the hell is that? All right, well, they're throwing water bottles at us while we're recording. By the way, there's signs right here that says, self-defense is not a crime.
Oh.
Carmelo Anthony should do no time. And there's also this sign right here says, hands off. And this sign says, we stand with you. I believe this is about Carmelo as well. And you'll see a picture right here of Carmelo Anthony. These are pictures probably from his Instagram. Self-defense is not a crime. So that's basically with the tensions being high here. You can see, I mean, we're not here to support anybody, but we're already having things thrown at us. Well, we don't have to do that.
Angry and upset. It's family members over there.
Okay.
So you're agitated.
Those are family members.
You're agitated.
What? Someone walks up to you and all you have to say is no comment. That's what people in a civilized country do. If someone walks up to you and you don't feel like talking, you simply say no comment. Okay? It's an easy fix. Now, the news is carrying the report. They essentially said that when the verdict came down, Carmelo Anthony broke down in tears. And you know what? Yes, it's a human response. The consequences of his actions are meeting him today. He doesn't like them. He's crying. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the consequences for his actions. Let's have a listen.
I just got some notes from our local reporter who is inside the courtroom. So when that guilty verdict was read, I'm told that Carmelo Anthony was crying. He was shaking. His defense attorney kept his arm around his shoulders the entire time. And also I'm told that Austin Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, this was the first time he was inside the courtroom when that guilty verdict was read. I'm told it was really emotional from both sides after that murder verdict. And as for what's next, Will, now it's the sentencing phase. He is charged with murder, so he could face up to life in prison. The same exact juror, they're the ones who decide how long he remains behind bars. And that's what this sentencing phase sentencing phase is. That reporter inside the courtroom tells me that Carmelo Anthony's mother, she's already taken the stand. This is a direct quote. She said, quote, "He is my oldest, my firstborn, my baby. I love him very much."
Yeah. And some of you are not going to like what I'm about to say, okay? You should have beaten the hell out of him when he was a child. Because whenever you discipline kids, especially difficult kids, you keep them from doing stupid things when they grow up. Guys, my mom beat the hell out of me. I can tell you stories for days about how my mom dealt with me. I got more beatings from my mom than from my dad. Why? Because it is part of raising difficult children. And so, yes, she's doing what moms should do. A mom should, appeal to the compassion of people who are around and try to get them to be more lenient. But he did murder another person's child. And from everything we've heard so far, it appears to have been premeditated. Okay, so do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the chat.
I'm told that she had mascara running down her face and asked the jury, quote, "Please have mercy on my son." And then the prosecutor sort of cross-examined her and said, "Isn't it true you could still have a relationship with your son?"
Hey, Intergalactic Wrangler, good to see you.
So this is sort of the next phase right now. The jury's going to decide how long he is behind bars for, and they're going to call some character witnesses, including his mom that you just heard from. And I'll step out of the way. I mean, outside the courtroom, we've been expecting this, Will, but about 100 Carmelo Anthony protesters, it erupted out here. At least one person was detained after they read that guilty verdict. And as you can see, it is all hands on deck when it comes to the sheriff's office. They prepared for this. There's been barriers out here and really tight security the last few days.
So that's unfortunate that when justice is served, people tend to, who don't like it, and most of them tend to vote left. It's just like when an election happens and they don't like the results, they burn things. Or something happens that they don't like, they begin to burn things and they claim that it's freedom of speech. Anyway, let's not go there. Now, court TV, a court TV panel is devastated and near tears by Carmelo Anthony's guilty verdict.
But besides, wow, which a lot of us are feeling.
What on earth is that?
Thoughts?
I was not expecting the top charge. I really was thinking that they would see manslaughter, still guilty.
And that's the thing with leftists. They interpret the law based on emotion. The writing in the law is very clear about the difference between manslaughter and murder. And this was clearly murder.
But manslaughter, different sentencing, but guilty of murder. So
that's what it was.
That's heavy.
Wow.
And I hope everyone just does not seem like everyone's going to be calm. It seems like we're going to have a problem there.
Wow. This is dumb.
You can see
This is dumb.
See, one of the things that I believe jurors tend to consider is remorse. And with the whole Carmelo Anthony situation and his family getting behind him, the black community around them screaming and making it look like the person who murdered someone else is the person who is being victimized. That was a bad look. That was a bad look. And I think they don't get it yet. They don't. Now, the supporters are mourning. Okay, so you have this court TV group. They're highlighting how people are sad about the fact that someone who murdered someone else was convicted and getting what they deserve based on the due process. They talk about due process a lot, but when due process comes calling, they don't like it either. So essentially, they want to burn down the courts and, essentially interpret the law based on feelings. Okay, if it hurts your feelings, it's not good enough. So you have more videos of people who came out in support of Carmelo Anthony mourning the convicted murderer who killed Austin Metcalf. All right, they're breaking down in tears and leaving the scene.
Tomorrow, and that's when the so-called sentencing trial will begin.
Yeah, we see people hugging outside the courthouse here. And when they go to the sentencing part of this, which Brooke has laid out for us really well, it will be the same jury in this Texas jury in McKinney, Texas, who will decide the sentencing for Carmelo Anthony. He could get life in prison for this murder charge in the death of Austin Metcalf, whose death he has just been convicted of. So there is a whole nother part of this process. In terms, Paul Morrow, of how the judge has handled this case, which moved very quickly, your reaction?
Well, the sequestering of the jury, I think, was the right move from the get-go.
So the people who are crying, were they expecting the verdict to go differently? I don't know. Because usually when people cry about something that doesn't go their way, it's because they expect something else to happen. So maybe they believe that if they showed up, if they screamed loud enough, if they picketed the court premises long enough, they would get their way. Oh, facts be damned. The fact that there is a CCTV footage of the incident, there's witness testimony that shows that this was essentially unprovoked and Carmelo Anthony was not in any danger whatsoever. All right, facts be damned. Let him go simply because he's a black boy. Yeah. Now, a deranged man loses his mind on court TV after Carmelo Anthony is found guilty of murdering a 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Now, stay tuned because we're going to be looking at what's going on in Ireland. Okay. An immigrant essentially stabbed an Irish man in the neck, attempting to behead him in the middle of the street, broad daylight. And the citizens are not having it. Like they're fed up. They are fed up. And I have the video and I can't play it on YouTube. It is insane. I watched it just before we went live, and I'm not exaggerating. My mouth was open the entire time. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm going to share the link with you guys at the end of the live stream. So stay tuned. I'm going to send you the link. And if you don't have a strong constitution, don't open the link. It's from X. Don't open the link. Okay, it is crazy. Now, one of the things that I do, and this is me, okay, I look at things I don't like. For example, I watch these stories. I don't like watching them. It gets me upset. But I have to look at them because I have to stare into the eyes of evil so that I can become well aware that it exists. Okay, I'm hoping that if I stare into the eyes of evil, my kids don't have to do that, but that's only a wish. Now, keep the chat coming. I'm just going to play this video, and then we're going to read the chat before we pivot over to what's going on in the UK.
This is dumb.
You can see the.
This is dumb.
Yeah.
What is dumb, Michael?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ted. This is just dumb. This is stupid. I can't believe that this jury came back in 3 hours with guilty. I'm totally stunned. On top of that, this judge as well, not letting cameras in the courtroom. I mean, good job, Your Honor. Really good job. You handled it really well. You have this community that's about to get lit on fire. You don't allow cameras to go into a courtroom. The community already believes that this kid is being railroaded. And then look at what happened. Your jury came back within 3 hours for a guilty verdict for a kid who used a 4-inch knife one time, didn't use it multiple times. Was it wrong? Yes. But was it murder, like beyond a reasonable doubt? No. And was it murder beyond
I'm sorry, did you say there's no video playing?
a reasonable?
Oh, oop. Okay, I'm going to go back and play it again. I don't know what's going on. No video playing. It's there now. Okay, I'm going to start again. Sheesh.
This is dumb.
You can see the.
This is dumb.
Yeah.
What is dumb, Michael?
I'm sorry, Ted. This is just dumb. This is stupid. I can't believe that this jury came back in 3 hours with guilty. I'm totally stunned. On top of that, this judge as well, not letting cameras in the courtroom. I mean, good job, Your Honor. Really good job. You handled it really well. You have this community that's about to get lit on fire. You don't allow cameras to go into a courtroom. The community already believes that this kid is being railroaded. And then look at what happened. Your jury came back within 3 hours for a guilty verdict for.
Sorry, is the video still off? Is the video still off? I need to know.
Kid who used a 4-inch knife one time, didn't use it multiple times. Was it wrong? Yes. But was it murder, like beyond a reasonable doubt? No. And was it murder beyond a reasonable doubt within 3 hours? Absolutely not. This is insane. This is dumb.
Cody Thomas saying that there are tears on.
So his argument is that he used the knife one time. Does that change the fact that the person he used it on wound up dead? It's this upside down mentality that I don't get. It's upside down. It's like, oh well, first off, don't bring back a guilty verdict because he's too young. Well, he wasn't too young to carry a weapon to a track meet and to threaten the person who was trying to get him to leave the tent to go to his own tent. He says, touch me and see what happens. And then, I mean, that already spells premeditation. Okay? Oh, no, he didn't mean it. Well, what he did next showed that he meant it. He told the person touching him, touch me and see what happens. And then he did, and then something happened. That was premeditated. Now, the guy is crashing out because he's like, well, how come the jury came back so quickly with a guilty verdict? Because this is not an O.J. Simpson case. This isn't O.J. Simpson, where there was no clear evidence and there were speculations, and he was essentially just trying to figure out if he did it. There were videos, there were eyewitnesses, and they had a hearing. They listened to witnesses, they looked at the videos, and they came back with a verdict. It's really that simple. All right, we're going to look at it like, geez, I'm looking at all the video evidence or footage. We're going to listen to this person who's a spokesperson for the family. Okay, I don't know. It's bad enough to kind of go through these stories, but maybe just a couple of videos more. Okay, and then guys, remind me to share the video that I promised at the end of the live stream, because I'm trying to confirm if I should play certain videos or not. Now, this is a spokesperson for the family.
It showed very clearly that a black boy was
go.
allowed, not one black soul on a jury.
No. So I said I was going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about it right now. During the jury selection, the black people who were called into the jury selection process said that they couldn't see themselves sending a black person or another black brother to jail. They were not trying to be unbiased. Okay? They were going to bring their racial prejudice into the hearings. That is what they were planning to do. Is that like, look, I don't cuss. I don't, but at times like this, it's like I don't have the words to say how frustrated I am by these clowns. And he wants to cry.
An all white jury.
There were black people who were called in. They all disqualified themselves. Okay. Now, if the roles were flipped, if this was a white kid who killed a black kid, and then the white people who were called into the jury selection process said out loud, I can't see myself sending a white boy to prison. And they were recused from the jury pool. And you wound up with an all-black jury of people who were willing to look at the merits of the case and come up with a decision. Okay? Would it be fair for anyone to step up to say, this is an all-black jury, therefore it's racist? It's the stupidity that I see with suit-wearing clowns like him that just drives me up the wall. And then he just happens to be black.
Convicted him in 2 to 3 hours.
Because the evidence was clear.
We know that they did not.
Democrats believe they own black people because of clowns like him. All right. You heard the testimonies that were essentially leaked. You heard the evidence and everything, and you still believe that the evidence wasn't sufficient.
But we know that the Next Generation Action Network put the first $10,000 towards an appellate attorney. And we will fight Collin County like hell. I respected this process. I allowed and called for peace in this process.
So, are you calling for violence now?
But Black America should be very upset about what went on today.
Why?
Now, before all of the internet lawyers...
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Yeah, something is going on with the feed. It disconnects and reconnects. I don't know, guys. I'm getting frustrated with all the tech. I bought a new computer for this, but anyway, we'll talk about that another time.
And before all of the interpretation of the situation,
based on facts.
I'm only an advocacy leader. I'm not an attorney.
Oh! Thank you for saying that. You should have led with that so that we'll know that everything you're saying is full of it.
Can only help families be able to navigate these processes when they find themselves in this type of situation.
So he's advertising his shop now. All right. So, yeah. So he's gotten into making a pitch for the next time your kid you didn't raise properly, kill somebody. We're here to grift off the situation. So here's our number. Call us. And please don't raise your kids right, because if you raise your kids right, we'll be out of a job. So keep letting your kids run ragged. Keep training your kids to hate other races and white people. Keep training them to hate the police so that they do stupid things at traffic stops. And here's our number. Our website is blah, 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 blah. I'm holding my tongue. This is crazy. All right, so we're at the 30-minute mark. All right, now I want to play this because there's a lot of crying coming from the family and the supporters of Carmelo Anthony. Where are the tears of the family that lost their son and their brother? Now, here's his his twin brother with I think the mother. Okay, this was last year, where just after the incident.
And then I saw him about to fall. I went to go over there. I grabbed him. I see. Stop.
Yeah, I understand. Best I can to understand.
Yeah, there was. You can see. You can picture what happened when what was coming out of his chest, and
yeah.
Y'all can visualize that stuff. I don't want to put down my mom right now, but I pushed my hand on there, trying to make it stop, and I grabbed his head and I looked in his eyes. I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry.
It's crazy.
I'm going to ask you one last question. I've seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay, someone else. Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
But I have seen interviews with your husband in the last 24 hours, and it was remarkable to me that I heard your husband say, within hours of this, that he forgave this other young man, and he got there so quickly. And I honestly don't know that I could, and I just want to see, and I don't know if there's a right or a wrong place to be, especially as quickly as this has happened. Megan, how do you feel on that front today?
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy. And it's just not fair. That's all I have.
I understand.
I'd like to say it's forgave, not forgotten, but I'm not at that point yet to forgive that kid for what he did to my brother. Because, 17 years, my best friend, just there and didn't blink of an eye, I lost him. So I'm not at that.
Yeah, so that you're not going to see TDSBC, CNN, the court TV that we just heard one of the unhinged panelists screaming about how they're disappointed about the verdict. They're not going to play the videos showcasing the pain of the family. It's just like what we see with the open borders and the illegal aliens who essentially murdered and assaulted American girls. They don't play those videos. They don't play the videos of the grieving parents. They only play the videos of the people that they want to look like victims, the illegal aliens who broke into the country and decided that, well, they essentially came to commit crimes, not to build up the country, not to pay taxes like the dumb Democrats try to tell their voters. Okay, anyway, don't let me get started on that stupid argument. All right, so that is something that isn't being played by the left. Now, we've covered the essentials. Okay, I have a ton of footage of the supporters essentially freaking out and behaving like animals. I don't think it's necessary to play anymore. It's just more of the same insanity. All right, so I want to read the chat, and then let's see. Gardening says, I was watching an ex-prisoner who has a channel on here, and he was talking about how certain people are waiting for him in prison because of those photos he has posted with hand signals. Now, was he throwing up gang signs? Okay, now we need to know if he was throwing up gang signs. If Carmelo Anthony was throwing up gang signs, well, I guess the 3-point-something GPA argument about how he had his whole future ahead of him. He was going to be a rocket scientist. No, he was going to be an astronaut. No, he was going to be a neurosurgeon. Okay, like they want us to believe that was the path he was taking. Okay, and that the knife he was carrying around was what he was using to practice his skills as a future surgeon. I guess that's the actual argument that they were trying to make, because he had a great future ahead of him. Well, I don't know. But hand signals and the gangsters in jail waiting on him, well, I don't know. Well, Gardening says they are several hours away, but okay, yeah, I read that already. Intergalactic Wrangler says, I can understand the crying. Either way, it has to suck to lose your son or brother or cousin to jail. It does. It does. Like, so one of the things that being a father does to you is it gives you practice. You get to practice separating your let's use the term compassion and duty. Okay, compassion, you get to spank your child when they do something stupid. Okay, that is duty. Okay, it's a duty to you, to your family, to his other siblings or her other siblings. It's a duty to the child because you want them to grow up to understand how the world works. You do something bad, there are consequences. First consequence is my belt. If you don't learn from my belt, you're going to learn from handcuffs. All right, that's the way it works. The father is meant to train children to learn about consequences. Now, that is a duty. But compassion, you feel bad while you're doing it. You don't like hearing your child cry. You don't. You hate it. I can't stand any of my kids crying. I can't. I'm such a softie. Okay, but I can't. So you have to learn how to balance that. I watch these people crying, I watch them wailing, and I'm like, okay, I get that you're sad, but it's really hard to understand your sadness when you completely discount the sadness of this family that has been affected by the heinous murder of their son. You've made every excuse in the book. You're not appealing to mercy. You're not even understanding how they feel. You immediately went out and started a GoFundMe to raise money on the backs of this insanity. You called everybody racist who wanted accountability. You have clowns like this other guy who just spoke, who essentially wants everyone to believe that the facts of the case were not airtight and they've donated $10,000. It's advertising. What that guy did was he was advertising his business. That was a $10,000 investment in future clients. He's counting on other parents not to raise their kids right so that they can eat. That's what's going on, in my opinion. So it's crazy. Okay, now let's go over. I'm going to be very careful. All right, jeez. Let's go to England. Not England, but Ireland. This is the UK, the United Kingdom, and let's go to Ireland. I'm going to just show this very quickly, okay? And I hope this doesn't get my channel, get a signal against my channel. Live from Belfast right now. Protests erupt after horrific knife attack. A Sudanese man in his 30s, granted leave to remain in the United Kingdom, was charged today with attempted murder over a brutal stabbing in North Belfast last night. I think he eventually died. So that's the image of the guy. I have the video. I'm going to share with you guys at the end of the live stream. It is absolutely horrific. It's horrific. I can't explain to you how I felt when I saw what was going on. I'm going to share the video. It is not safe for YouTube. Like, it is bad. It's so bad my channel could get nuked if I showed it. Like, my channel would just go away. We'll be on a live stream and next thing is a black screen. It's that bad. So Belfast is burning tonight. Shocking scenes from Northern Ireland as HMOs packed with unvetted fighting age foreign men are torched, along with reports of buses set alight. This comes just hours after a Sudanese in his 30s allegedly tried to behead a man in his allegedly. You know, I like how people use the word allegedly when you can see the video, but I know it's all legal because you have these NGOs. I'm going to talk about the NGOs. All right, so that's happening in Belfast. So there's absolute chaos going on right now. All right, I'm going to pause this. Hey, Jibe News. Awesome. Great to see you in the chat. Great to see you in the chat. Look, they use the word allegedly even when there's evidence of what's that. But you know what? Now, here's why people use the word allegedly, so that you know what's going on. All right? You know what's going on. They use that term because you have these NGOs that have, let's just use the term, limitless amounts of cash, piles of cash, to go against people who just happen to say something they don't like. And so if you happen to call out the fact that this is wrong and this person committed this crime, they figure out a way to build a case against you, to bankrupt you. They're like, okay, you said something racist. Oh no, I was telling you, no, you said something racist. We're taking you to court for saying this person did this, therefore it's racist. So they have piles of cash to take you to court when you say something that is so obvious. For example, men can't give birth. They'll take you to court for that. Okay? So it's insane. Okay, I'm scrolling up and down the screen and oh my goodness, yeah, I didn't change over to this. Okay. So there's all these videos. Okay, that now, do I subscribe to violent riots when things like this happen? I don't. Well, here's the scary part. The governments in Europe stopped listening to their citizens a long time ago. They stopped. So right now, right now, the citizens have had enough. Right, burning car crashes into apartment building in Belfast, Northern Ireland, amid protests. It's called a protest now. It's a riot. Okay, if things are burning, it's a riot. Amid protests over attempted beheading of a man. Well, they're like, oh, it's attempted.
Shit. Oh my God.
Oh, it's a mostly.
My God.
Look, guys, we call out the left when they say things like this. Oh, it's mostly peaceful. This is a mostly peaceful riot, mostly peaceful protest with burning buses, burning buildings. You know, it's mostly peaceful, guys. Nothing to see here.
Oh my God.
I guess it's our turn. Okay, I guess it's our turn. It's mostly peaceful. Okay? Come on, fine.
Oh my God.
No. She's actually happy. God. She's laughing. It's mostly peaceful.
Oh my God.
Oh no. She's happy. She's excited. Okay? So let's we can play this game too, but I'm not a fan. Okay? The Irish are ready to burn the entire city of Belfast down to the ground over the Sudanese migrants trying to behead native Irish people. I don't blame them for being upset. Yeah, so there's a huge flame in the background.
Send them home! Send them home!
And they're chanting, send them home.
Send them home! Send them home! Send them home! Send them home!
Yeah. Oh, no, these people are racist. They're racist. They're absolutely racist. How dare you demand that immigrants who come into your country and randomly attack women, assault them, and randomly experiment how to behead the men in the middle of the street in broad daylight should be sent home? That's racist. It's completely racist. I'm outraged. As a black man, I feel threatened. I feel threatened. I feel so threatened by this racist call to deport people who don't want to assimilate. It's so wrong. Don't you see the dog whistle? The dog whistle, and I'm scared. I'm scared for my kids. I'm scared that this dog whistle that Trump has ignited. Oh, believe me, they're going to drag Trump into this. Trump has ignited across the world. He's sowing chaos across the world. I'm so terrified for my kids. Nothing about the fact that these migrants are routinely murdering citizens of the country, natives of the country. Nothing. This evening, British loyalists, okay, now we're going there, are attacking and burning down homes belonging to immigrants. Now, this is the problem. This is the problem. When you allow chaos by not prosecuting these migrants and you continue to bring them in and you're not listening to your people, you're not listening to the citizens, and they feel like the only language you understand is this begins to happen. The sad thing is this. The sad thing is this. The left is waiting for a reaction like this. It's okay for them to burn buildings while they're protesting the death of a career criminal who overdosed on fentanyl while he was being arrested, and then a police officer happened to place his knee over the back area, shoulder blades near the neck. It wasn't a good look, but no one talks about the fact that all of these other circumstances added to the chaos that happened during the summer of love with George Floyd. And then it's like, okay, they're burning down the streets. Oh, it's totally fine. Kamala Harris was raising money to bail out people who were routinely attacking people, killing people, destroying businesses. No, we're going to raise money. You had Hollywood lining up. I take responsibility. Hey, where are all the people who were supposed to be kneeling for Henry Nowak? Where's the kneeling of all the leftist politicians for the death and killing of Henry Novak? None? Anyone? Where's the kneeling for the death for Metcalf? Okay, where are the career kneelers? Where are they? Nowhere to be found. Because there's no utility in mourning for the killing of a white person. There's none. If a black person was murdered unjustly, we have a story. We have a story. And we should call it out, and we should, name the situation and solve that problem. Oh well, guys, it's crazy. And let's see. Let's listen to this video because I just put up the feed. I'm going to share the video with you guys. Don't click look, disclaimer, it's not safe for work. Don't click the video if you don't have a constitution for watching things like that. It's like the Charlie Kirk video where people, it's horrible. Okay, don't watch it if you don't have the constitution for it. This guy was kneeling, pinned the guy down. The guy's legs were flailing. I'm going to describe it. His legs were flailing, and he was digging the knife into the guy's neck, and he was raising his hands in triumph.
On the outskirts of North Belfast, several hundred people gathered at the Clockfern roundabout. After the speeches, 200 masked men broke away and marched into the White Abbey estate. The group then made its way along this road and stopped at this property here on Abbeyville Street. They proceeded to stone every window in the property and threw wheelie bins through the bottom windows. I spoke to a woman across the road. She said that the complex had been used to house asylum seekers and immigrants. She said that the whole ordeal of watching people come down this road and attack the house was terrifying. off Bell.
Oh, but how about, yeah, good, guys, I'm not going to try to kind of sweep that away. It's terrifying to see that happening in your neighborhood. But what was going on in in the mind of the man who was pinned down by this immigrant who was jabbing a knife through his neck to try to behead him? What was going, like, do I subscribe to this kind of violence? I do not. But a serious conversation has to be had. This is what's going on in Europe, guys.
Fast Newton Ards Road, it was a glider bus that was targeted, set on fire. Crowds gathered as smoke billowed across the east of the city. A few hundred metres away, 2 cars were set alight on McMaster Street. When it was not cars or buses, they chose burning bins to block the streets. On the Crumlin Road, more bins and more fires. Back at the Clockfern roundabout, the crowds returned. 2 burning cars now made the road impassable. Ita Dungan, BBC Newsline in Newton Abbey.
Okay. All right, we're going to read the chat. I'm going to just pause here. All right, so let's talk. All right, we have a few minutes before the hour. Let's talk. All right, let's see. Blah, blah, blah. And Jibe News says, imagine losing your identical twin. Oh my God. Like twins have such a connection that is so deep. It's almost like they have like their souls are connected, especially when they're identical. It's a crazy thing, for them. And then to be present when your twin dies, it is horrific. I don't know how he must be feeling right now. Gardening says, so the one gang who he was acting like he was a part of is upset, and the rival gang is too. So he has it from both ways when he gets there. Sheesh. No, it's going to be bad for him. Yes, that has to be hard losing your twin, and then to have others say you should have also died too. Yeah, this God help me. This character over here.
Yeah. I forgot, and the twin brother would have been with him. Fuck what you saying.
They should have both been arrested.
They both should have been dead. The both brothers. Both of them should have been dead. You ask me? Don't record me. I ain't asked you not to record me. Don't like I said.
Well, you're in public. We will record you. Intergalactic Wrangler says craziness. Look, we watch this. I have this other set of stories on the SPLC, but the Carmelo Anthony, like I didn't play all the videos that I had lined up on the Carmelo Anthony reaction to his sentencing. It's just videos for days on the insanity that's out there. And if you just sat and watched those videos, if you have a functional brain, it will radicalize you. If you have a functioning brain, it will radicalize you, because there's no way you'll see stuff like that and believe that you and these people want the same thing. You and them want the same kind of benefit of the doubt. You want the same kind of due process. You want free and fair elections. You want people to be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. You can't come to that conclusion after watching these people openly say racist things to anyone who happens to appear to simply want justice to be served. There's no way you can come to that conclusion. Okay, you can finagle your way through that, thought process, but it's going to be very difficult for you to claim that you arrived at that conclusion, based on the merits of the argument. So it's just absolutely insane. It is. Now, sentencing, I think, will be tomorrow. Yeah, all right. So we will know what's going on now. Is there any is there anything going on by way of reactions or riots? I don't see anything, and I think it's largely because this is Texas. All right, you don't just roll up on a random street in Texas and not expect to face armed resistance. Okay, so if you want to riot, you stay in your neck of the woods and riot. You can tear up your own property, your own house, but don't try to go to the average Texan's house and try to tear up their property. You might be staring down the barrel of something that smokes. All right. So that's basically it. Now, we've gone through these stories, two major stories, because there's a conversation to be had. Usually we go through a set of other stories. Gardening says, don't mess with Texas. Yeah. I wish Patricia were here. Patricia will tell you the story of when the leftists attempted to come to her town they wanted to tear down a monument. Okay, they wanted to tear down a monument. And they arrived in their bus and saw the townsfolks lined up and waiting for them to get off their buses, and every single one of them was armed. Well, guess what happened to the bus? Did the doors open? Did they empty out and start looting and rioting and tearing down the monument? No. They turned around and went back to the liberal city they came from. Okay? So, and that's why I love the Second Amendment. I love the Second Amendment. All right? So here, I'm sorry, I've been delaying on the merch store, okay? The Bible plus the Second Amendment equals freedom. I love the Second Amendment because you get to defend yourself, you get to defend your family, your property, okay? The Second Amendment doesn't mean you get to randomly take your weapon to a track meet. Carmelo Anthony. You don't do that. It is for defending your freedom. Freedom to be safe, freedom to protect your family, freedom of owning your own property. Okay, you don't have random unhinged people storming down your community, burning things because they don't like the results of a court case. Leftists hate red cities. They hate them because everyone is packing. They can't randomly bring chaos and blame the conservatives for the chaos. They can't. They will be dealt with. So I love the Second Amendment. Okay, so the t-shirts, I'll soon publish it. Okay, guys, soon I'll publish it. I still have the left should have left concept on my table, Intergalactic, and I'm still going to be giving you 50% of the earnings. Okay, I still promise that, and I'm going to keep to my word. So once that one goes out, all right, we have a deal. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Those of you who missed the members only live stream that we had this afternoon where I gave the updates on my situation, the recording is available within the members only space on both channels. Both channels have access to it. We did the live stream. If you want to catch up on my immigration journey and what's going on, I unpack everything during that live stream. You can go back and rewatch it, but it's members only. Because I did give extra details that I don't want to give on a general space, but something has changed and I gave the updates in that live stream. So if you want to find out what that was, please head over there and watch it, but you have to become a member first. All right, you have to become a member. Intergalactic Wrangler is celebrating his cut. All right, he's celebrating his cut. Look, we will... Once that shirt goes out and we sell at least 10 shirts, you're going to get your cut, Intergalactic. You're going to get your cut. Okay, 50-50. And the same goes for anyone who has merch concept. I will split it 50-50. Okay, and that's that. Guys, I love you guys. We can go on and on and on. Okay, we do have, if you want to continue to listen to my voice, we still have the 24-hour live stream going. It's been it's been heading forward, and I quite like the fact that people get to find the content even while I sleep. Okay, so as much as I love to live stream and talk with you guys, I can't talk for 24 hours. So if you want to just keep listening, you can hang in there and get clipped over to that channel. So, and if you're here for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, share the video. If you're coming here for the first time and you watch some of the older live streams and you're like, hey, I want to join and be a part of the conversation, please let us know in the chat real quick. Just put a yes. Just put a yes in the live chat. That's all I want to see. Okay, because there are a bunch of you who are watching the live stream and you never talk. Okay, you never talk. I know you want to be private, so what I do is, if you don't want me to put your chat on the screen, just say so, and then I won't. All right, so we just need to talk about these things and connect and be there for each other. Well, guys, as much as I want to drag this on because I love seeing you guys on the live stream, hey, hang on. I promised a video. I like keeping my promises. Gardening says, were those the videos you played last, the videos you said to remind you to play? No. I wasn't going to play the video. I wasn't. I was going to drop the link in the chat. I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and I'm also going to drop the link in the description of the video. It's a very violent video. Don't watch it if you don't have the constitution to watch people being absolute evil people. Okay, don't watch it if you don't want to see that. I'm going to add it to the description of this live stream. Okay, and you're going to hold on. I need to add it so it posts everywhere. Just give me a second. I haven't seen so much evil being released in the world, across the world, at one time. Like I'm so shocked at the degree of evil. Okay, I'm going to just call this promised link. All right. So I'm going to call it the promised link, and I'm going to just use this and update. I'm going to update the description. So right now it's in the video description. All right. And you should have it available. If you're watching after the fact and you can't see the live chat, it's going to be in the video description. If you're watching now, it's in the chat. So you can copy it and you can watch it later. But viewer discretion is advised. I can't play everything that I see online. I have to filter the content carefully. Let's see. I saw a comment and the comment just disappeared. Gardening posted a comment. Okay. Oh, okay. I just remembered. It just keeps disappearing. Okay, I just remembered you saying to remind you of something, and I can't remember, but I'm reminded. Yeah, but thank you for you triggered the remembrance of it, so it's fine. Okay, Shelly Blue chatted. I don't know if Shelly is still here. Shelly, are you here? You look like a first-time chatter. I want to say hi. If you're still here, please say hi. But she was quite shocked at what we were seeing on the screen. Okay, so guys, we're going to be back again tomorrow. Now, remember that I had said that we were going to have a short week. I said earlier that we were going to, the last live stream would be on Wednesday. That has changed, and all the information is in the members only live stream. Tentatively, I'm going to be doing that members only live stream once every week. So I've scheduled the next one for same time next week, noon Eastern. on a Tuesday. So every Tuesday, we're going to be seeing if we can do a catch up for the members only, where we're going to be creating a unique experience just for the members. We're going to be bringing up stories. We're going to be doing watch parties for very unique topics, and it's just for the members. So we're scheduled for next week. So if you want to catch up on why the schedule that I announced earlier has gone out the window, please watch the members only live stream. I give tons of information, and I try to be very transparent on the members only live streams, but I can't do that on the public one. So thank you guys. I can see a bunch of you still watching. I appreciate you hanging out. I love you, praying for you guys. I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.